Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry. And as you can see, I've got a row of machines sitting here. And the purpose of this video today is I'm going to be talking about installing a light on your machine, whether it be an OP or rotary, OP, and OP, of course. And I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that I've done it in the past, give you some ideas for how to address this for your own machine, and I'll just kind of show you really basics of how to go about it, because it's actually very easy to do. So first of all, I'll just start with the earlier version. One of the earlier versions I had was this one right here, which was on one of these one of my rotaries. I don't remember which one. Many years ago now. This probably is about 10 years old. This is an electrical junction box, and back when I put this one together, this is basically all we had for LED lights, was these ones you put under counter, and then there was a transformer that sat in here, and it attached onto, well, probably similar to the way I did it on this one here. This is a later version, as you can see, I actually have 3 lights on there, and when the machine would lean back, actually I guess I put it behind the handle, because when the machine leaned back, these 2 lights were shining directly down, and the one in the back was kind of shining down at my feet, as I claimed. And that worked fine, except it's kind of bulky, and you put the tape on here because sometimes these things would kind of fall off. So it was okay, but it was the beginning of the LED versions. So I'll just put that there for now. A few years later, I came up with another light system, because LEDs haven't been around all that long, so I'll just lean that back so you can see. This is a different sort of a light. It's like a light panel. Again, I probably bought those at Home Depot, and there's a transformer inside of there. And then a few years later, I went to another system, which is on the Orbot here. And I'll have to lean it back so you can hopefully see. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but there's LED. Hang on a minute, let me just get this off of here. LED. Those are LED panels. Now, I bought those at an electrical supply store, and they're actually they're actually glued up there with goop. It works fine, and there's a transformer inside of this device right here, which is actually empty on the Orbot. And to power this, there's a power takeoff on these Orbots. I'm not sure if they're all like that, but so all I did was just put a plug in here, and the wire goes up the back, and it's one of my beefs about the Orbot is that handle release. I find awkward. Anyway, so the wire comes all the way up and into the to the transformer, and then the wire for the light goes around here, and it goes to the light. So that's how it works for that. And here, we'll lift this one up out of the way now. On the Orbitech, the light that's on this one, I bought this at an electrical shop not too long ago. I originally had a couple of fluorescents mounted on the back here, and that worked fine. But then I had an issue with them. They've been on there for like 10 years, maybe longer. And they were kind of I was having an issue with them, so I switched over to an LED. And this particular LED has a rectifier in here, so it actually wires straight into the wiring of the machine. And I'll show you how the wiring is done. I'll show you on this machine here. So it doesn't actually require a transformer, so there's no junction box. Now, this light actually is not bad, except it has a weird, kind of has a weird color. So I actually put a diffuser panel on it. I guess you can see that. which toned on that sort of a weird frequency of color that it was putting out. And then the latest version is my regular machine right here. I bought this. This is a really good LED. It really puts out a lot of light. But it actually, again, was a clear lens on there. I'll move it forward, you can see it. So it was a clear lens on there. So I went and got some translucent plastic and glued it on there because the light was so harsh it made hard shadows. It's like using a clear lens for your lamps in the house, and that gives like such a hard light. So this just softens it a bit so I don't get so much glare off the carpet. It still puts out good light, but I did that. And over here, the back side is here where I put the junction box, and there's a transformer in here. So this is a good place to put your transformer. Your junction box is on the back of the tank. That's one other reason to have a tank. If you're a person that prefers not to have a tank, you don't want a shower feed, okay, fine. I certainly think it's a better way to go, but nevertheless, having a tank just to mount. If you want a light, you've got a great place to mount your light down at the bottom near the carpet. You don't really want it up high. You want it down low as possible. And here's a transformer right here. Now I can't remember exactly where I bought this one. I may have bought it at the electrical store. But basically, this works perfectly well. What do we got here? 12 volt, 1.5 amps. And most LEDs don't put out very much amps, half an amp often. So that'll be more than enough to run it. So the junction, and then what I do is I get an extension cord. Okay, do I have it sitting here? I had it. Oh, I got the wrong end here. Anyway, one of these, those white extension cords you can get. And then I just clip off I clip off the plug end and draw the wire up to where I want to hook it in. And the other end, which is the actual plug, it goes into the junction box, and then I just plug that into the actual plug in the junction box. So that's what I do there. Now, as far as connecting it, let's have a look. Take that off of there. It's very simple. Oh, before I get to that, let me just show you what it looks like. We'll start with this one. Why don't I close the door? Get it a bit darker in here. Okay, so and as you can see with the Orbot, because of where that's sitting, it looks pretty cool. Now it doesn't look like it's putting out an awful lot of light, but in the hallways of a condo or whatever where you're working your way along, it does put out pretty good light. It's not bad at all. So there's that one. I'll come around this way. And the Orbitech, we'll drop it into operating position. Hopefully it won't turn on. I don't think it's on. No, there we go. So that light, as you can see, it actually shining right down on the carpet right in front of the machine. As it goes. It puts out decent light, but light gets better yet. And now we'll try this one. So that one's not bad. Over here and take a look at it. So it's putting out a decent amount of light. And then the final one. And I actually bought this light. I went and got some hoses made, and that the place that put the hose together, a pressure line, they had some LED lights, so I bought it there. Yep, there we go. So this one, as you can see, is putting out the most amount of light. And I can't remember, I think it's 5,000 lumens or something like that. So that puts out the most light of them all. We'll put it up. And the nice thing about having a light is sometimes we get into rooms where, well, they don't have a light in the center of the room, or the light bulb's out or whatever, and it's a dark bedroom, and it's a pain in the butt because you can't see very well. And having a light, once you get used to it, is after a while you realize it's actually a necessity. Anyway, so how am I going to hook it up? Let's see if I can get this positioned so we get a good visual here. And I'll drop the handle back a little bit. So it's really very simple. I need to grab something here to show you. But there's these devices right here, which are very handy to have. Electrical store, probably, I probably could have bought a handful from them. I don't even remember where I got these, but this is called a piggyback bayonet. And in this case, and usually, you'll find most machines have a very similar setup to this. So, here's your wires coming in. You've got 3 wires. You've got your green, which is ground. You've got your black. That's your power. And your white is common. And all you need to remember is the white and the black. And black is power. So notice that the power comes up and it goes onto this side of the switch. That means that there's power here all the time. The switch opens and breaks the circuit, and only when the circuit is closed will power go through the switch and down to the motor. And that happens, of course, when you lift the handle. And there's the switch activates. Circuit is complete, power goes down to the motor, and away you go. Now this particular machine has it's a 2-speed, so that it has this extra switch here, just for switching the speed up and down. That's absolutely irrelevant. You don't even have to think about that, okay? And most of you guys using a 175 isn't a 2-speed. You won't have the switch, so don't even have to think about it anyway. And here's why. All you need to do is, first of all, on your lead from your transformer. Now remember, this is actually going to plug in to the power lead that you're going to use to bring the power down to this. This end goes to the light itself. So how are you going to do it? You take one of your leads. Oh, I guess I can grab one of these here. You take one of your leads and you put her in there, and it doesn't matter which one, because this is just going to be the power supply to the transformer. So you put your lead in here, and in this case you would pop that off, you'd slide that in place, and then you'd put this black lead again onto there, so you haven't disrupted the connection at all. And if you're worried about warranty, don't worry about it. This has got, you're not messing with the motor, you're not pulling it apart. All you're doing is adding a circuit onto the circuit that's already there. And this is running in parallel, by the way, in case you're wondering. So now you've got 2 leads. So where do you connect your other one? Your other one will go to what we call the common. Your common is your white. And here it is right here. So I'd pull this out of here, pull the tape off, undo the barrette, take the wire, twist it around the two wires that are there, put the barrette up back on, twist it together, put tape around it, tuck it back in place, and we're done. And as far as getting this power in here, what you're going to probably have to do is maybe drill a hole, say down here, and then you'll feed it through there to get it in there in the first place. Okay, so now you just take your lead, take it all the way down to where your junction box would be. And for that purpose, I'll go over here. So on this machine, you can see that the lead, it comes down and it's going into the junction box, and inside the junction box, you'll want to see that. I'm going to show that to you. Let's make it really clear. The simplicity is the best, right? So, and look how small that transformer is here. I'll unplug it. You see? What is it? Output is 12 volt, 1.5 amps. Pretty simple. So to power the transformer now, that lead that came from up above, I just plug that in, and then I brought the lead from the light, which is on the tank on the front, brought it in here, and I connected there's two wires from the light and two wires from the transformer. However, one thing you need to be aware of is that the transformer is a direct current. So one is positive, one is negative. The LED lights, ones that run on a separate transformer, that is, have to be connected with the positive and the positive and the negative and the negative. So if you put it together and it doesn't work, switch it around. Maybe you've got the polarity reversed, because the power will only go in one direction on a DC light. And the LEDs are actually DC, direct current, not alternating current. So you got it. You take your lead. I'll go over it again. Make sure we understand. You've got your wire coming up, and it doesn't matter which wire goes where from your power lead on this side, when you're connecting up here. That doesn't make any difference. But what you need to understand is that you go, if you want the light to switch on when you plug the machine in, then you go onto the power side of the switch. There's always power here. As soon as it plugs in, there's always power here. So you take your piggyback bayonet. That's the best way to do it anyway, assuming you got a bayonet. Otherwise, you might have a different type of connection, but normally they're a bayonet. You go into the black you go into the black side as your power. The other one goes to the common. Okay? So if this is my lead, it doesn't matter which of these leads goes where. What does matter is if you put it on this side, you'll have power when you plug it in. If you put it on this side and then to the common over here, the white, you'll only have the light turn on when you turn the motor on. I recommend you put it on this side, because it's nice to be able to, you're halfway down the hallway looking for a plug, you plug it in, you turn around, look at your machine, the light didn't turn on, wiggle, wiggle, oh, there it is. Or maybe the power is out on that outlet, you can tell right away, so that's handy. So you're going to take your power off the power side of the switch, and then the other one goes to the common. You could drill a hole, ideally you'd want to put a grommet there. That'd be a good idea. You can buy those little grommets that fit in there and keep it secure from chafing. So there you go, there's your power. Now your power goes down the handle, We'll go and look at this one. You're going down the handle, coming into the back of your junction box. Here it is here. Here's your end. You take your transformer. Your transformer has... Oh, here I go again. You've got 2 leads on your transformer, and you've got 2 leads coming off of your light. You're going to try it one way, and if it doesn't work, switch it around, and then voila, it works. I've done that. One time I put one together before it dawned on me how that worked. I put it together and I was like, why isn't this working? Because I had taken it off, actually. And then I went to put it back together and it wasn't working, and I was like, why didn't it work? And then I realized, oh, right, it's direct current. Switched them around, there was the light. Okay, make sure you do a really good connection in there. Your light, you're going to mount that. I just screw them into the tank, by the way. Good to use stainless steel screws, by the way, because if you don't, they'll rust. So anyway, that's it. You find a good place to mount your light. There's mine. I actually had another setup here, and I kind of screwed up that attachment there, so I reattached it a different way. I had a different light here. This one is attached to the bottom of this junction box. Oh, that's one more thing I wanted to point out. Let me show you something. Here's a really good clue. Good warning for you guys. These are 2 identical machines. But what's different about them? Look where the tank is compared to there. Now, either one works, but this tank is up considerably higher because I have the junction box underneath it. So when I put water in here, there's more weight on my hands, on my arms, with this machine than with this machine, because I was able to, I figured out that I could mount the light right on the tank, and I was able to then to drop the tank. What was that, like 5 or 6 inches? Makes it a much lower center of gravity, much better way to go. So this machine is about 10 years. This was done about 10 years ago, and I've never updated it to this style because this has been my main machine for so long. But my next thing would be to take this one and just get another LED, and then I can drop that tank and redo it and everything. It's not a big deal. Very easy to do. So anyway, those are the tips. Those are the instructions. If you are feel uncomfortable dealing with the electrical things here, you certainly could take your little project to like a vacuum repair store and tell them what you're after, and they should have no problem doing it, and I'm sure they wouldn't charge you very much to do it anyway. So, but you can do it. You are a handy woman, right? Yeah, right. Anyway, okay, I hope that'll help you guys and give you ideas and inspire you. And if you get a light on your machine, then post us some pictures or videos, and so we can see what you're doing. And if you maybe come up with a brighter idea than what we've got going on here, that's great. Let's keep sharing ideas and improve and learn from each other and encourage one another and help one another, and let's be professional about what we do and use safe cleaning products, and don't be a bathtub chemist. And I'll always try to bring the standard of this business up, and the quality up, of course, and show how VLM can be the premium cleaning system out there. That's what I figure. Okay, let's go and clean some more carpets. Have a good day.